Welcome back to another episode of Fhs Season Tickets. I'm Michael.
I'm Christian.
And I'm Nick.
And we have special guest Josh, or Envyerz, YouTube 2K and basketball YouTuber. Would you like to say hello?
What's up? Thanks for having me on the show.
Yeah, so we're going to start it off with some big news that happened to your San Antonio Spurs. LaMarcus Aldridge could be rumored to be leaving before the end of the season, might be getting traded. What are your thoughts about that? And what do you think his trade value would be?
I personally wouldn't see LaMarcus Aldridge being traded unless we...
Yeah.
A lot of people are saying, what, Boston Celtics?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the
That's
team.
just a common trade part.
Yeah,
almost every
Boston's
team.
rumored
Boston
with everyone.
Celtics, in my opinion, don't have anything worth trading for besides, I guess, like the young guys such as Jaylen Brown. But, like, Aldridge is a whole lot more worth than Jaylen Brown. So
Yeah, if you're the Spurs, you don't want to bank on potentially to win now, I would say. Would you agree?
Yeah. The San Antonio Spurs want to do that. They want to win now. Jaylen Brown is more like I guess he's a project, you got to develop him and what have you. But on the article I saw, they called the Spurs unsuccessful. What was it, like 60-something wins last season?
Yeah.
That's unsuccessful?
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
like
it's just-
65.
Everyone's just
Yeah.
being compared to this Warriors team now, but Spurs are the only one in the West that I can see competing with them. Definitely think
Yeah.
LaMarcus Aldridge shouldn't want to be traded right now.
And he's not going to even go to a bigger contender.
No.
Like,
Yeah.
besides the Cavs and the Warriors, those are the only two teams, with or without LaMarcus Aldridge, that are better than the Spurs right now to win a title. Even Boston with LaMarcus Aldridge isn't better than the Spurs right now. So I really don't understand where Aldridge is going to go.
I think that's trade rumors are common in the NBA. People like to drum up. Maybe this is the media, or maybe this is actually Aldridge making a decision or wanting to get traded, which I don't really see that happening at all. Like Envyerz said. So, are we gonna move on to the preview? Yeah. I had a question, or we all had a question about you having Pistons in your preview at number 6 for regular season at the end. Can you explain that? I thought it was it's definitely like an extreme
Different.
opinion. Yeah, it's different. Like I could see it happening, but
I'd have him
it's
at
gonna take
like
a lot.
8
Can
or
you
9.
explain what your thought process was when you made that decision or prediction?
I know what Stan Van Gundy wants to do with that roster. He wants to do like a whole Orlando Magic type thing. And if you look at the Orlando Magic team that he took to the NBA Finals, it's kind of similar. They have a dominant big man in Andre Drummond. They don't have any, like, who was on that Orlando Magic team? It was like Jameer Nelson,
Hedo
Courtney
Turkoglu.
Lee.
Hedo
what was that?
Turkoglu.
Jameer Nelson.
Turkoglu, Ryan Anderson, Jameer
Yeah,
Nelson.
if you just look at the role players around Dwight Howard, it's nothing special. And I feel like this Detroit Pistons team is a whole lot better than that said Orlando Magic team. Dwight Howard may be, at that point in his career, a better player than Andre Drummond, but
Yeah.
it's not that much off. And in the NBA preview, I was saying that I probably should have addressed this more clearly, that I feel like the Pistons, the Pacers, and the Boston Celtics are very interchangeable. And it could end up being like last year, where there's like 4 teams with a 48 record. So
Yeah, but there's a bunch of mid-level teams in the East. I just couldn't see the Detroit making it past, like you said, the Pacers, Celtics. I just thought, you said those are interchangeable, and I agree with you. But I just can't see Detroit going that high. I think that you're on the right track with the Stan Van Gundy comment, though. Stan Van Gundy really just got pushed out because of Dwight Howard, but he's like an excellent coach, and he got that Orlando team of old to what were they?
The NBA Finals.
The NBA Finals. So that's insane. I still think Drummond needs to get a little bit there to the Howard comparison to live up to it, but I can see where you're going on that. I like that point about Stan Van Gundy. Really smart thing.
Yeah, the comparison makes sense. Christian, you have a question for him?
You had the Knicks at 11, I'm pretty sure.
yeah.
I feel like that's pretty high, especially with new people like Derrick Rose and Joakim Noah, who I don't think he'll play like he did in Chicago that one year. What's your what do you think about that prediction? Why did you put him that high?
Well, when I was recording, because the whole process took extremely long
sure,
time
yeah.
to do. But when I was recording, there wasn't as many the whole Derrick Rose rape allegation thing that wasn't going on, and then with the Detroit Pistons, Reggie Jackson was healthy, and it's crazy how much a month can change the whole landscape of the NBA with injuries and things going on. But I still feel like the Knicks will make the playoffs. I personally don't know if they'll be exactly where I rank them, but as of right now, I feel like they could possibly make the playoffs, and I hope they do. I mean, like you said, Joakim Noah and Derrick Rose, you don't know if they're going to play like the Chicago Bulls back in the day, but I mean, on paper, they're a better team, and I don't see that many teams in the Eastern Conference being better than them.
Yeah, really though. Even if they don't live up, you still have a Kristaps coming into a second year. I think he's going to take a good step, and Carmelo coming 1 year off a knee injury. So I definitely think that they're going to do well. I'm more high on them like most, so I kind of like that prediction actually.
Now that leads into my next question. I know you pre-recorded everything, did all the graphics yourself. Is there any team that you would really drastically change your prediction on now than what you had when you recorded?
I think the Orlando Magic. And I feel like the Orlando Magic won't be as bad as I put them, because now, especially like the Miami Heat and the Pelicans, I feel like those teams are worse than the Magic.
Yeah.
And a few other teams, like maybe even the Wizards at this point. So I would definitely move the Orlando Magic team just a tad bit higher, maybe around like the 20-ish range, because they have some good guys, and like the way they played in preseason, it's pretty nice. So I could see them outperforming the way I put them on the preview.
You had the Clippers extremely high. I personally don't like them because they never like.
They've never done anything.
I mean, I
always have them in the playoffs, and then they just always just fail me. So I just kind of lost faith in them. Why? What's your reason for having them at?
The NBA preview. Well, I probably, like I said, I could have done this a whole lot better, but it was just like limited time and then pre-recording and what have you. I felt like I addressed it pretty clearly, but I guess it was like occasional episodes where I didn't. But the NBA preview, I kind of based it off of regular season. So what I feel like the regular season would be. And a lot of people got upset that I had the Cavs ranked third. Like, that was absolutely crazy. Yeah. I was just saying, although they're ranked third, same thing with the Clippers, although they're ranked fourth, I don't feel like this team, well, not the Cavs, but like the Clippers, I don't feel like the Clippers would win a championship. This is based off the regular season. And a lot of people got upset about that because they said, oh, the Cavaliers should be number one because they won a championship, etc.
Right.
But the Clippers, I honestly have no faith in them. I do like the roster moves that they did. Getting Brandon Bass in the offseason, that was a pretty nice move. But I don't know. The Clippers are in a weird spot with the whole Blake Griffin thing. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, barring injury, Clippers do, like, they always choke it away. I feel like never reach the Western Conference Finals, but I never see them beating the Spurs. I never see them beating the Warriors, but this is still an extremely talented team. I think people are forgetting that. If they don't get injured, they still have Chris Paul, who I think is the best floor general in the NBA. They have DeAndre Jordan, who's a physical beast, and at center, and that always helps. And then Blake Griffin, if he doesn't pull anything dumb like he did last year by like getting in a fight with their manager or anything like that. So, barring injury, this team's still really loaded. I could definitely see them finishing the regular season where you had them at fourth, and the playoffs they won't beat the Spurs or the Warriors. I always look at it as organization-wise, like who has the better organization, management, and Spurs and Warriors just are far above everyone in the West. So, but I like that, definitely like that fourth placement that you have in the regular season because this is a regular season team. I think.
It is definitely.
I've got a question. You had the Bucks at 20, but retweeted a tweet saying that about saying that Giannis is like going off the past 8 months and that the guy thinks they're gonna make the playoffs. Was that a retweet based on how good you think Giannis is going to do, or do you think the Bucks are going to sneak into the playoffs?
I don't know if the Bucks can make it into the playoffs this year, but Giannis is a very amazing player. Just looking at their roster, I think the whole Chris Middleton thing, if they had Chris Middleton, they could most likely make the playoffs, but he's most likely out for the entire year, so it's not looking good, especially because they traded MCW for Tony Snell. I feel like they could have got more shooting out of that, but they got another defender.
That's like a bad trade for both teams.
I don't understand it for the Bulls. Like, you guys have no shooters.
They just added another guard that really can't shoot.
Both teams needed shooting, and neither one of them got shooting.
There was a rumor
and Tony
for
Snell
the Bucks and the Hornets. I feel like that would be a good trade. The Hornets would get
Well, the Hornets
Greg
get-
Monroe, and then the Bucks would get Jeremy Lamb and Spencer Hawes. I feel like that would be an
Yeah.
amazing trade. But this
Just
one
no
was
one-
just like left field.
No one wants Greg Monroe. No one wants like that type of center anymore. He really can't like dominate on the defensive end. Also, really doesn't like just pop out at you athletically. So no one really like Greg Monroe's been. I feel like they've been trying to trade him since they got him, but it just hasn't worked out for Milwaukee. I don't think it's going to unless they like give him away for nothing really.
Yeah, the Bucks team would probably be a different team if they had Middleton, because he's essentially their best shooter.
Yeah,
so
no, for
it'd be
sure.
Hard without him.
If they had
He's a
him,
great two-way
is
player.
Henson still on that? Is John Henson still on that team?
Yeah, he's stuff.
Yeah,
If they had Monroe, Henson, Middleton, and Giannis, like I like that
and
team.
Jabari.
Yeah, Jabari's looking nice. too.
Jabari. I liked that team when they made it, but it just never ended up working out the way I thought it would. So,
They definitely need some more shooting on that team.
oh my
The
god,
Thon Maker pick was also really interesting too.
Dude,
Taking
I
another
cannot
big
believe
guy.
It worked. I mean, it didn't work out. The season hasn't even started, but summer league, he surprised me so much more. Have they ever even found out what age he is? I'm so curious about what age this guy actually is. Is he like 25 or is he like 19?
Josh, we were talking about this on the draft night, weren't we? About how old Thon Maker was.
I think so. We were making jokes about it.
Yeah. Speaking
Cracking
of
some
the draft
jokes.
show, do you think any rookies are going to be just really surprise you and come on nowhere and have a big impact on their team that not a lot of people are talking about?
Come out of nowhere, like no one's expecting that.
Yeah, like basically outside of the top 5, is there any rookies that are going to really do well?
I don't know. At the top 10, the only one of my favorite rookie of the year is Buddy Hield, just because of the situation he's in.
Yeah.
Drew Holiday's out. Tyreek Evans is out. He's going to have a lot of opportunities. And if Anthony Davis can stay healthy, he could possibly win Rookie of the Year, especially with the whole situation. I look at it a lot similar to Damian Lillard's situation when he was drafted. I mean, they're both seniors, both averaged 25 points in college, and both playing with a solid power forward. But if Anthony Davis could stay healthy, Buddy Hield could most likely win Rookie of the Year. In this draft, I'm making a video on it, and I have a sleeper pick as in Joel Embiid. You guys feel that?
Yeah,
Rookie of the
I
Year?
got you.
I feel you on that one.
Do you think he's going to have like a Blake Griffin type rookie season?
Yeah, I can easily see that. Because Joel Embiid's been in the league. He's been in the locker room, so maybe. I feel like the
Right,
Sixers have
yeah.
a chance.
I definitely like Joel Embiid. I love that on draft night, but just him getting injured, that was just I don't know. I just love big centers like those old school like dominating the post centers.
So
And that I just felt bad when Embiid got injured, but I would love to see him win Rookie of the Year. I actually like Kay Felder too, even though I am from Cleveland. Like I'm obviously gonna have some home bias, but like I feel like he was perfectly situated for the Cavs because he's just like small. Like no one can really take him but a championship team,
Yeah.
and I think that's just like a perfect situation coming off the bench behind Kyrie. I
If
definitely
you're
won't
talking
win.
about good second round picks, Tyler
Yeah,
Ulis with the
definitely.
Phoenix Suns.
yeah,
Tyler, yeah, oh yeah, I love Tyler Ulis again. He's like
Mhm.
defensive minded, but yeah, those small point guards this year, I think that they can do some special things for their team coming off the bench.
Yeah, for sure.
I actually made an article discussing smaller point guards and their value in the
Yeah.
draft, and I looked at every point guard 6'2" and shorter, and honestly, usually point guards that are shorter have better draft values their first couple of seasons and end out working better.
I mean,
Christian,
yeah.
what's your next question?
So we were just talking about Philly. Which out of the big men do you think is gonna get traded?
For the 76ers?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's a good one because I feel like right now the Sixers are trying to incorporate as much as possible for Joel Embiid, especially from preseason.
Yeah.
And he's only been playing 18, 20 minutes, and he's averaging double figures
Yeah.
for points.
He's being.
I
So-
don't think the
out.
Sixers trade Embiid.
no.
Yeah, I don't feel that. I guess Nerlens Noel.
I think they like him for his defensive ability.
Yeah, I
his,
feel like Embiid and
bounce.
Okafor wouldn't work because I feel like they both eat up points in the paint. Like Embiid's an athletic freak. I feel like you could always use
Embiid's been
that.
stretching the floor though in
Very-
preseason.
yeah, well.
He's hit a couple threes.
Yeah, Noel's
Yeah.
a freak on the defense, athletically. So I feel like
I
you want
mean-
to couple him with either Okafor or Embiid, but
Yeah,
it really depends on what they're
Noel
trying
and
to do.
Okafor, they're the complete opposite.
Exactly.
Noel's defense, Okafor's offense, and Embiid's if he's stretching the floor, maybe Noel can work out. But I feel like
Exactly.
going forward, Okafor has more potential, more value than Noel. So if they do trade Okafor, they better get like an amazing point guard or something because they don't have one.
Yeah, but who do you think's going to take on Okafor? I really can't pinpoint an exact team.
If Boston fans want everybody, people are saying Okafor's going to Boston.
I love when you dog Boston. It's hilarious.
I don't know, man. Especially on Twitter and like all the social medias, Boston fans, they think they're getting everybody.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They thought they were getting a World Series ring too, but the Indians ended that one.
That was like the Lakers fans back when they had Kobe.
Yeah, right. Oh my gosh.
We're getting LeBron. We're getting Wade. We're getting Chris Bass.
That's Lakers fans now. Like every free agency.
DeMar
period,
DeRozan.
I feel like
he's already signed.
No, yeah. So I don't know. Just those type of fans, the Boston Lakers fans, they're always gonna think their team is gonna get every single player and they're gonna be doing the best. But moving on, I'm trying to think. I had a question. I think it might have been. Oh yeah, I was like. What do you think about Ben Simmons getting injured? Like, do you feel bad for Philadelphia? I feel like it's getting to that point where I'm honestly feeling bad for that franchise that they're like losing so much. They get a really good player who did a lot in the preseason or summer league, and then he just gets injured. Like, what are your thoughts on that injury?
I feel like Rookie of the Year could go to Joel Embiid, like I was saying earlier. Possible second option.
Yeah.
And the Ben Simmons injury, although it sucks, it really helps the other guys like Joel Embiid, Okafor, just to find their place with the team.
Yeah.
So
someone
it's kind of like a blessing in disguise. And if the Sixers still suck, they have another draft pick to get top 3, top 5. So
yeah.
You haven't mentioned Dario Saric in.
Oh god.
Yeah, a lot of people are
Sixers
saying he's
rookies.
a dark horse to win Rookie of the Year.
A lot of basketball like European experts really like him, but I mean I feel like European experts like every European player.
Yeah. I mean,
I've never heard a Euro guy talk negatively about a guy from Europe, really.
Yeah, I mean, 'cause they could all shoot. They could do like anything, basically, but they just don't. They're just not. They don't have the athletic ability.
No.
I had one about the Utah Jazz. Do you see them climbing as much as other people? They just missed out in the playoffs last year. Do you see them?
I don't see them. People are projecting them to be what, top 5, top 4 in the Western Conference. That's
That's
a little overboard.
I
feel like the way I ranked the Utah Jazz in the preview, especially, I feel like that's a perfect spot for them because they're unproven. They let Kobe drop 60 in his last game.
Yeah.
That's a joke, by the way. I keep bringing that up, and people hate when I say that. But I don't know. I don't see the Utah Jazz being as good as people think they are going to be. I feel like they can make the playoffs, but not top 5 or top 4 in the Western Conference.
I feel you on that one. Do you think the Timberwolves are going to make the playoffs?
That's a good question too because it's definitely possible. I like their coach Tom Thibodeau coaching them, and it's a young group of guys. If Karl Anthony Towns could have like an even amazinger season than his first season, and the team can click, they can make 8th seed. But I feel like at this point they're way too young, and in front of them is like the Dallas Mavericks and the Houston Rockets. So
what's your opinion? Speaking of Karl Anthony Towns, of NBA GMs saying if they could start their franchise with anybody, that Karl Anthony Towns is picked ahead of guys like LeBron James, Steph Curry, and Kevin Durant.
It was like 40-something, 48% or something along those lines.
Yeah. Do you agree with that, or would you start with?
I mean, just a few years ago, GMs were saying they would pick Anthony Davis.
Right. Everyone's forgetting about Anthony Davis. I feel like
this man just had injuries almost every single season after that.
Yeah.
So hopefully the same doesn't happen with Karl Towns, because as of right now, he's playing phenomenal, and he's on pace to be one of the best centers in the NBA right now.
Towns is also in a better situation than Davis.
Yeah.
He has a guy like Andrew Wiggins. Davis hasn't played with anybody close to that talent.
Max Kellerman from ESPN First Take said that he was like a super Draymond Green. What do you guys think about that comparison? Do you think that's accurate? I was like kind of like I don't know about like that Draymond Green comparison.
They both kind of stretch the floor, but Draymond
he can run the
Towns has like a better all-around offensive game.
Probably
a better rebounder, but Draymond
also, like,
probably
way
is a better
taller.
defender.
Yeah, so I don't know if that comparison was like accurate.
I don't know. Draymond just starts too much. He's he's
Karl
like
Towns
I
would be a
think
better
he's
shooter than
I think
Draymond.
he's starting to be a cancer to Golden State's locker room.
Draymond? He's not a cancer to their locker room.
That's what most Spates
Did you
just
see
said today.
what Mo Spates said about the Warriors last year?
Did he get kicked out? Did he get traded or like? waived.
He signed with the Clippers.
Yeah. That's why. And then he got kicked off the really good team, so like he's gonna be mad at.
I don't know. I feel like Draymond's becoming a distraction to the Warriors. They should like possibly get rid of him, but I don't know.
I mean, they're gonna have to pay Steph Curry soon, so
Yeah.
That's
Who knows?
insane that they locked him up for Steph Curry.
Yeah,
for
like
that low
15
deal.
mil.
Oh my gosh!
Or
Well, he was
no,
like
like
the man
12.
of glass. He was the man of glass.
the ankles.
His ankles were just garbage, and then apparently he's not getting injured anymore. It's crazy. Like injuries in the NBA, especially in the NBA, like in every sport, obviously, but since the 5-man game and like talent overrides everything in the NBA, injuries can affect the way your team goes, like the direction your team's in, like so much. It's unreal.
Yeah, speaking of injuries, the Memphis Grizzlies had so many injuries
Oh my
last year.
gosh.
You have them returning to your top 10 in your rankings. How well do you think they're going to transition to this year? I know they locked up Mike Conley. How do you think they're going to do?
I like Mike Conley. They're kind of old. Their starting five is extremely old compared to other starting fives, and I don't like Charlie Parsons, he was the best available player for that position. I don't like the contract they signed him to, and I don't know if 14, 13 points per game is enough for the Memphis Grizzlies. But he can stretch the floor, and he's probably one of the better stretch guys that they've had at that small forward position for the past few years. I mean, they had Matt Barnes last year, so anything's an upgrade from that.
Yeah, for sure.
You guys each have
What do you think about them benching Zebo?
Benching Zach Randolph?
Yeah.
Who's starting in front of him?
I don't know, but I just
I've heard reports that he's getting benched too.
Wow.
Is Jermichael Green starting?
Yes.
That's like the only
I
power forward I can think of.
I actually think he is.
Starting.
I actually think that's the name they said, and I was shocked.
Wait, maybe they're going smaller. Are they going? Is Jeff Green still there?
No, he's not.
No.
Is he
I mean,
not there?
they could put Charlie Parsons at 4, and then I don't know. I don't know if benching him's the right move, considering they don't have that much depth. I mean, they have young guys like Jermichael Green, Jarrell Martin, but I don't know if they're ready.
Jarrell
so
Martin,
we'll
maybe.
see.
They're not going to start a rookie. They're not, or he's not even
He's
a
not
rookie, but
no.
he's.
Yeah.
I can't see him starting Jarrell Martin.
I mean, I couldn't see them starting Jermichael Green either. No, but anyway.
They did last season when all the injuries were happening. So
Yeah, that's true.
They were just
Maybe
looking
showed
for
him
bodies
something.
last year.
Yeah, they were literally looking for bodies. But this is a heavily debated question here.
Oh God,
And,
he's bringing it up.
Yeah, I want to ask you, what do you think? Which conference do you think is better? Just any interpretation of what you think is better, the East or the West?
I mean, the West. Is it obvious?
That's what I was wondering. My two co-hosts over here think that the East is better just because of all the average teams they have is more average. Is better than the average teams in the West. But I just thought that the talent overall in the West just overrides everything. All the top teams overrides the East. But I don't know. Can you convince them, Envyerz, please?
I mean,
I can't.
I can't name that many teams that could compete with LeBron in the Eastern Conference, especially last year. No one could compete with LeBron last year.
Thank you.
Personally,
This year, it's going to be interesting to see because the Pacers got better. Who else got better?
Yeah,
The Celtics?
Boston, Celtics got better. Atlanta got worse
They
though.
got Horford. Horford's been regressing. These
they got
past 2 years,
Al
so.
Horford and they got Jaylen Brown. That's another
Okay.
depth guy.
I would still pick like West teams over them. I'd pick 3 West teams over them. I would take
Yeah,
3
the
West
Warriors,
teams.
Spurs, Clippers.
Yeah, but
Exactly.
I'd take the Raptors and the Pacers ahead of the Celtics. The Celtics are 4th in the East, and then I think they're better than the 4th. Whoever you want to put at the 4th seed in the West.
I think the best competition in the East for the Cavs right now this year it would be the Pacers
Yeah.
because they got a nice squad going for themselves. So Paul George could guard LeBron, and I feel like the Raptors and Celtics. Who's guarding LeBron? Jay Crowder.
Yeah.
This
honestly.
might be an
If
interesting
Cavs
debate.
stay healthy, I cannot see them losing.
Who do you?
Yeah,
I just
definitely.
can't.
They're obviously the favorite to win every year because they have LeBron James. Until the East gets better, then
And they were
That
even
won't
able
be
to
the
like
case.
progress Kyrie. If Kyrie gets injured, though, I mean,
yeah, if
LeBron's
Kyrie
gonna
gets
have to
injured,
carry.
they're gonna have to put like Amon Shumpert or sign a free agent
Right.
because Kay Felder.
no, he cannot
Rookie.
start. Yeah, he cannot start.
No. What do you think is the best division in the NBA? I'd say the Cavs division probably, because there's no bad teams in that.
I don't know divisions
Yep.
in the NBA to be honest.
Yeah, to be honest, me either.
Yeah.
I don't really
okay.
pay attention to that. I feel like divisions
Really?
most likely
In
are going to
almost
be
every
relevant.
sport, yeah, they're always
Real soon.
irrelevant. I feel like. I mean, maybe the NFL,
The NFL and
Yeah.
MLB, they're important.
but NBA divisions are always irrelevant. I
Yeah.
really don't pay attention to them.
It's basically the
So-
sports with 8 teams in each conference. So the NBA and hockey, where
Yeah.
divisions are kind of irrelevant.
Yeah, for sure.
Christian,
but-
Nick, you have a final question for him?
No, I'm good on that department. I got the answer I wanted to hear. West better, even though I'm obviously an East Conference fan, but I just had to get that answer from from someone else, kind of sway my co-host over here. So thank you for coming on the show.
Every year the West
Yeah.
always better records. So
Yeah,
See, we both think that the West has been better, but we think that this year the East is going to overtake them. I know that the West has been better from however long ago to now, but I think this is the first year, maybe even last year too, that the East will be better.
yeah, East definitely improved, but like I said, maybe the only team that can compete with them, the Pacers. But I don't even know at this point, considering
yeah,
they're like a new team together.
yeah.
Yeah, but thanks so much for coming on the
Yeah,
show.
thank you.
It's a pleasure having you.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and that will wrap it up for this episode of FHS Season Tickets. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to leave a like and also subscribe for more season ticket videos.